So what is the phenomenology of backward masking? Backward masking is the following. When you show some kind of target stimulus here, for example, a number 6, and then here in this particular experiment conducted by Delcal, they show this only for 16 milliseconds. Much shorter than what we showed in the previous experiment. So here they presented this very short time, and then other places is just like placeholder. And then after some delay, they presented another stimulus composed of E and M later. And that is known to interfere with the process of this stimulus 6 and makes the stimulus invisible. And by the way, this enigmatic letter SOA is means stimulus onset asynchrony. Onset of the stimulus target and onset of the mask is asynchronous, temporary. So here's a delay of 60 milliseconds or 100 milliseconds and so on. By changing this parameter, sometimes you see it, sometimes you don't. Okay. And then upon seeing this, usually people ask to do some kind of task, like on this number, can you compare its magnitude with respect to 5? So your button press response is going to be either above 5 or below 5. Okay, 2 alternative false choice, and then followed by sometimes subjective tasks such as visibility rating. I didn't see it, or I saw it by sliding bar like this, or typing the numerical number from 1 to 7, or sometimes we tend to use pressing one of the 8 buttons to direct to indicate the level of the confidence or visibility. Okay. So now I kind of explained what the backward masking is, but the question is, can you imagine what the backward masking will be like if you experience it? In other words, does knowledge of the backward masking, will it help you to predict your own phenomenology of the backward masking? Sometimes this kind of question is posed in the philosophy of mind, knowledge argument, etc. So to address this, we are going to simple backward masking demo. Okay, so this is a very brief and small video, and then what you're going to see is that first you are going to see a very brief presentation of a letter, single letter that is not masked, and presumably you will be able to see it. And if not, it may be something to do with your own, display problem or my video framework and so on. So just go to the website that I have a link. Here we go. Okay, so I hope that you saw the A. Okay, but let's move on. So now it's a letter that is masked by SOA of 1 frame, which is probably like 33 milliseconds or 16 milliseconds. Here we go. All right. Did you see anything? Okay. You saw a lot of lines, but that's a mask. There was some kind of text before that. Okay. Here we go. Now SOA is 2. It's slower. Okay. So I was able to see it, Z, the letter Z, followed by the mask. And another one, E. Another one, N. So you might have noticed that as the SOA becomes longer and longer, it becomes easy to see. So that's this particular case of the backward masking. Okay, and then just as a sort of the checking the answer, first type of the SOA. No, we can't see it. Yeah, it's too brief to check. All right. Also, coming back to the slide, so you probably experienced what it's like to be, the subject of the backward masking experiment. And you had probably a sensation that, you kind of saw the letter, but not really quite kind of thing. And if you repeat this many times, sometimes you have a feeling of this, and sometimes you have a feeling of that, even if the stimulus itself is the same. And the question becomes that how can we quantify this, the degree of different kind of, real sensation of consciously seeing something vague? Can you express all of your quality of experience by just saying, yes, I saw X, or no, I didn't see anything? Or can you express your experiential quality by adding some kind of visibility rating from 0 to 100? Or verbal label, like I saw X clearly, or I saw probably X, but it was very vague. And also, when you're not seeing X, there could be multiple reasons, right? One is that it's because I absolutely didn't see anything. And another thing is that, yeah, I'm not so really sure, but I just think that, I should say that, I saw it. It's kind of a lack of the confidence below threshold. So this kind of, criterion, subjective criterion, is a very important issue to understand when you read and present, the papers on non-conscious or, implicit perception. So, and also, I'm going to talk about blindsided paper, blindsided patients and the animals in a couple of coming weeks. And both of these are quite important kind of issues. All right, so in sum, in this brief video, backward masking is an interesting phenomena where our visual system is presented with something, or target stimulus, really briefly, but followed by a mask, okay? And then the timing and other parameters, when it's really correct, then we do not see the target stimulus consciously. Can we quantify the degree of conscious seeing? That's the question. And I'm going to discuss that in the next video.